Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another tea time with Hannah. So I've got my tea here. It's a kind of herbally, flowery tea today. And I thought we could think a bit about moving out, moving away from home. So I moved out for my gap year nearly a year ago now, and I'm looking to moving out for uni in like a month and a half. So I thought it would be good just to think about it a bit, because when I was thinking about doing this video, I realised that and I remembered as I looked through my diary from nearly this time last year when I moved out, that I just didn't really think about it emotionally, at least. Like, I thought about it practically and had lists of stuff that I needed and things, but I didn't really think about the emotional side of moving out. So we can think a bit about the practical stuff and also just emotional stuff. I'll talk about how I found it last year and maybe what I'm thinking about moving out again this year. So we're just going to chat about it. I'm going to chat and think and stuff. So. Moving out. Let's start by talking about the practical things, because that's the easy stuff, isn't it, really? Well, easier to talk about. So for me, the practical side of stuff wasn't really an issue. I wasn't worried about stuff like cooking, cleaning, mainly just because I'd done quite a lot of it at home over the years. My parents quite keen for us to be independent in that way, and I guess just the person that I am, I enjoy having things clean and tidy, so I will clean things of my own free will because I want them to be clean. And cooking, we've all been cooking in our house from an early age, obviously not like too young, but like I was used to making myself dinner and food and lunches and everything. Like, I'd pretty much been cooking mainly for myself for a while, so that wasn't really an issue. The only new thing that was going to be new for me when I moved out was washing. I hadn't really done my own washing before. I'd done ironing, and I mean, on D&V, on expeditions, I've done my own, hand washing to wash clothes, because you only have 3 sets of underwear with you. But hadn't done properly done my own laundry before, so that was new. I wasn't particularly worried about it because it didn't seem like it would be an issue, but yeah, because I know for some people that kind of stuff, the practical side of things, is a worry, and I don't actually know of any because it wasn't an issue for me, but there are some good books out there that are literally like tell you how to survive, like, physically. I'd recommend like BBC Good Food if you need recipe ideas, although, as we know, students generally survive on pasta, so, but yeah, I mean, I'd been cooking for myself, and I really enjoyed cooking for myself for a year and going shopping to Lidl each week and getting what I needed for what I fancied eating this week and all of that. Like, I really enjoyed doing that. And I think that will be slightly different when I'm at uni, because, we'll see, but normally I would be splitting between self-catering and eating in like the catered bit, the cafe, Needham Cafe and stuff. So we'll see what that's like with social distancing and rules that they'll have in place, how easy it will be to eat in there, or if it'll just be easier for me to cook my own food, or what, we'll see. But I do enjoy cooking and making food for myself, and washing as well. It was easy when I was living in London last year, because I was in a house, we just had a washing machine. It was just downstairs, like I just had to take my own laundry downstairs, but obviously at uni I'll have to go to the laundry rooms, although our laundry is going to be free for first term, so that's going to be fun, which is nice. So we'll see if that's different. I guess, and cleaning, So I like cleaned the house when I was living there last year in London, and I'm used to cleaning bathrooms and stuff here because at home, because we did that. So but that'll be different when I'm at uni, because we have cleaners who come in to clean the kitchens and the bathrooms, so I won't actually need to do that, which is nice. So having cleaned for myself for a year, I now won't need to do that, obviously, except when I'm at home. So that's pretty chill. Yeah. So yes, the practical side of stuff wasn't an issue for me moving out. You might be worried about it, and that's okay. I'd say ask your parents to like show you now, and like try and do some of those things maybe now when you're at home for the next month or so. Like maybe try and cook a few meals, try and do a load of laundry, or try and like clean your bathroom if you're gonna have to do that at uni. Just so you get a bit of practice in, so that you're better prepared for moving out. Yeah. Oh, I can finally drink my tea. It's cooled down enough for me to drink, so that's good. Just have a little sip. Okay, so that's kind of practical stuff, my experience anyway. So if we move on to more like the emotional side of moving out, leaving home for the first time, or not the first time, but so for me last year, I don't think I particularly missed my friends and family that much to begin with. Like I definitely did, and there were moments when I missed them a lot. But I think because I wasn't that far away, and actually, particularly at the beginning, I was coming home. There was just loads of events that I needed to come home for in that first month that I moved out. So I actually saw my family and my close friends quite a lot, because I was coming home quite regularly. And potentially that is something that you might want to plan in if you're going to uni. Obviously it's a bit trickier with the world as it is, but maybe you want to plan to come home like quite early on when you move out, because I think that actually did help kind of seeing everyone, because I didn't really miss them until Corona, and I made the decision to stay in London, and that was actually, I think that's like the first time I've ever properly missed my family, which also, obviously, there was a global pandemic going on, so it wasn't like the calmest of times. But yeah, I didn't really miss them when I moved out. Sorry. I'm quite an independent person. I like my freedom. I didn't really miss them. But yeah, that was just me. Although I did notice when I did come home in that first month, September, I came home quite a few times, and I did notice, like, when I was in London, I would try and like explain to people when be something about back home, and they wouldn't, obviously you can explain it, but they don't totally know what it's like. And then when I was at home, I'd explain to people what it was like and what my new experiences were in London, like what I was doing, what I was going through, and they just couldn't totally understand what that was like. I think for the first time, because I've lived in one place my whole life, in the same house, same village, like I haven't moved schools other than primary and secondary. I stayed for sixth form, and suddenly I was like experiencing new things that the people, that not everyone I knew was experiencing, especially because a lot of my friends are in the year below, so they were still at school, doing A-levels, so they didn't necessarily know exactly what it was like for me moving out, and things. But not that that was an issue, but it was just quite interesting, I think, to note that like suddenly I was kind of leading a double life, is almost what it felt like, because I had London and all the craziness that was going on with that, but people back home didn't know all about that. But then people in London didn't know about me before I moved there, so I was this person who didn't have everyone knowing everything about me since the moment I was born. I didn't really know. I'm just kind of thinking, chatting, whatever, out loud, rambling. Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting thought. I don't know if any of that made sense, but yeah, that crossed my mind. And when I moved out, yeah. But I think the main thing for me that I didn't think about the emotional side of moving out. I just thought I'd be fine because I'm very independent and like looking after myself, really. I didn't think about the fact that it might open up old wounds in a way. So I think I did mention it in my testimony, but that I struggled a lot with loneliness over the years, and I didn't anticipate that might come up again moving away, because I think all I really thought about was, I'm going to a new place, they're not going to know me, I can, that whole like fresh slate thing, I can present myself how I want to present myself when they don't know about, the awkward teenage years or whatever. But I didn't realise that my brain might go to a place where I'm looking around thinking, no one here knows me and I feel really alone. Like, no one actually knows me. Like, they're all very lovely and welcoming, and I'm sure we're going to get to know each other. But at this moment, like in the first few weeks, they don't know me. And that was scary because I hadn't thought that might happen. But Jesus was good to me and was very quick to assure me that, like, we weren't going to go back to the loneliness that I had experienced before and the kind of darkness that comes with that. But I think because I was then aware of it, I had to actively, like, pursue friendships, because I think that was the best way to combat that loneliness, which is exhausting, particularly at the beginning. But I think that is the thing about moving away. When you don't know anyone, you just have to force yourself to talk to everyone, to introduce yourself to everyone, to just like keep pushing to make relationships and like push to make those good strong friendships that then mean that you're supported. Because I mean, it's not an issue for everyone, but obviously because it opened up what I had already experienced in the past, and it kind of brought me back to that, and I didn't want to feel that way again. And that was scary, not knowing anyone. And I guess this time round, maybe, hopefully I'll be more aware of that, because I have already gone to a new place and had to go through that. I'm hoping that I'll be better prepared to do it this time round, and now I know that it's possible that I will feel lonely. So I need to, be in contact with my friends and stuff to be like, I'm feeling a bit lonely, like, and talk to people about it and stuff. And I think that's a really good tip as well, I guess, just to talk to people about how you're finding it when you're moving out, and to be honest if you're not feeling all right, because I don't think anyone finds it particularly easy moving out, leaving home, especially if you like being at home and you have good relationships with your family and whatnot. Like, although even if that's not the case, I guess it can still be hard. I guess as part of that, it was almost good, because it reminded me that actually of what I was doing my gap year for. Like, I was stepping out in faith, and I don't know anyone, and it is scary, and I'm feeling a bit alone, but remembering that actually Jesus is with me, and he's never going to leave me. He is right there, and that's the same moving out again, going to Cambridge. Like, Jesus is still going to be with me. The Jesus who was with me in year 5 in year 4, the Jesus who was with me in year 12, the Jesus who was with me last year in London, he is going to be with me still when we go off to uni. So yeah. Well, that was just me rambling for a bit about my thoughts on moving out and last year and this year. Yeah. So yeah, I'll do another video soon about like more about uni, how I'm feeling about going to uni and stuff. I am going to take a bit of a break over the next few weeks because I'm going on a holiday. So yeah, there won't be any videos for a while, but then I'll be back in September thinking about moving to uni. Yes. So we will get there. But I hope you enjoyed this tea time with Hannah. I haven't drunk much of my tea, so I will do that now. It's been fun. God bless you guys, and I'll see you again soon.